No, dead. They're all dead.
Mamma mia!
The following views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the producers, hosts, and or guests of the Bitter Marks podcast. We assume no responsibility for any errors or omissions in the content provided.
Listener discretion is advised.
Bitter Marks! Bitter Marks! What is up, smooth babies? Welcome to Bitter Marks. It's your favorite non-wrestling wrestling podcast coming to you every single Friday morning in audio form at bittermarks.com or wherever you get your podcast from. Or in video form on our YouTube page. That's right. Just head on over to YouTube, search Bitter Marks Podcast. Our channel pops up. You want to subscribe to that. You want to put on those notifications. If you ever feel like joining us live while we record, we do that every single Monday night live at 9:05. That's p.m. and that's Central Standard Time, once again on YouTube. Join in on the chat with all the smooth babies in attendance. And if chatting is not your thing, just email us. bittermarks@gmail.com is how you get a hold of this podcast and how you ask questions about what we're all doing here and the meaning of life. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? Anyway, I'm your host. My name is Sasha. Some people call me Mr. Main Event. I don't talk to those people. Some people call me Huevos de Oro. And that's just my mom. But anyway, I'm joined by my dear friend, my lover. I'd call him my lover if it wasn't the truth. Yeah, you try and figure that sentence out.
What is going on? I don't know what is going on with your energy, but it seems down. You're not Mr. Main Event or Huevos de Oro to me. To me, you are Mr. VCR. What's going on?
Not too much, my friend.
I
You're
heard how
bringing the
down
energy
you sounded.
today,
I feel like we needed a shot in the arm for the show. What's up?
I'll tell you, man, I've been working really hard the past like 2.5 weeks or so. And it's really affecting me mentally because I haven't worked a real job in like 3 years. So like, I mean, every day I've been gone and whatever. I'm not complaining to the people who do work real jobs. You guys are stronger people than me. But it's just like leaving in the morning and then getting home very late and then not being productive with anything that I would like to do productively, whether it's flipping, whether it's comedy, whether it's this podcast, whether it's the other podcast, whether it's seeing my wife and my dog. That's like 6th or 7th place. Sure. But you know what I'm saying. It's just it's bringing me down to have this stuff, and I'm looking forward to it slowing down whenever that may be. I was trying to make a video this morning for our other podcast because I've been promising videos. I got everything set up. I got the camera set up. I've tested it. Everything's looking good. I shaved and then I cut my face. I don't know if you can tell, but I was gushing blood out of my face. I had to like take a half an hour just to like, clog that up. Oh. And then I got called into work, and then I just came home for this podcast.
I don't blame you. So, I know that can be taxing, especially on us who have like unorthodox jobs where the hours are ridiculous, and most of the time we're just spending it at home, making our own hours. It is literally my nightmare that if I got a phone call from my actual job saying, "Hey, we need to let you go," I'm probably in better shape this year than I was any other year, but in previous years, I was terrified that would happen in fear of having to do an actual 9 to 5. I'm just...
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought you'd be more afraid
That's
if
what
they
I'm
were
saying.
like, hey, we need you to come work in an office.
Job and actually had to go somewhere every day. I don't know how I would function in life.
Yeah.
No, we are terrible.
Yeah, we're not good people, me and you, and that's just... that's how we live our life. We're joined by the punctual prince of podcasting from parts unknown Illinois. It's producer Tony.
What's up, everybody? How we doing? How we living? Hopefully, I am coming through loud and clear. I have made some audio upgrades. I apologize for the shitty audio on my part for the past couple, it's been pretty bad.
To my ears, it's so
hopefully
far so good.
Fixes
but
it.
I told you this. I didn't notice anything prior to this. Sasha, do you hear any difference in the way he sounds?
Oh yeah, 100%. I've noticed the difference every single week.
Oh really?
And
So
and
was it
I
getting worse
try
and
to
worse?
fix it in post. That's how the people say. Not worse and worse, just not good. Consistently
Not good, yes.
not
Amazing.
good. And you sound great today. So
Consistently
Our
not
motto
good
for
is
the
what
show.
I live my life by. So
I mean that's
yeah.
it is. If we could fit another line under non-wrestling podcast, it would be consistently not good.
All right, print up the T-shirts. Get Justin Tuttle on the phone. We need some new shirts made ASAP. But yeah,
What you been to, Tony? You sound a little ill over there. Is this me just knowing that you're ill and trying to set you up, or is this what's going on over here?
so I got my flu shot on Wednesday last week, right? And usually I get a little cold or something right
Tracking
after.
you, bro.
Yeah, I got the 5G, so the coverage is good in my house now, which is great. But yeah, I got a cold and it just wiped me out for like 3 days, and I'm still kind of fighting it. So yeah, it's not great. Having a cold sucks, especially because
That's
like
the
everybody's
worst
like,
part
oh,
of it, yes.
you got COVID, huh? You got
You start
COVID?
feeling bad
No.
when you
It's
you
just
get
a
the
cold,
sniffles, and you start
dickhead.
feeling
Back
bad
up.
because you don't want to be around other people because you don't want to imply that you do have COVID. It's
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So
Right.
it's like the public shame of being just regular sick, right? So that's what I'm going through, and I'm actually feeling great right now because unlike last week, my Monday Night Football
finish
game is
we had
going
last week.
very
That was-
well right now.
I mean, I apologize. I know that was a rough loss. But
Ugh.
you,
Sash, I love that you played that clip in the intro of me like just not worrying about it. Yeah, I got this in the bag.
Yeah. I think that was the best thing to take out of last week's podcast. It was just the constant downhill slope of emotion that you had. But you tried to bring it up at the end, but I didn't buy it. I didn't believe that you were okay with it. Like
I was still mad for several days after
Yeah.
that, but it's going well right now. I'm not going to give any updates. I will say that I am 98% probable to
that's
win,
where it started last
according
week
to
too. I
RT
think.
Sports.
you're 0-1, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't play Santino last week. Though.
I'm also
that's the,
my team is also going.
That's
right
the
now.
kicker this week.
I'm currently down 15 plus 9, 24. I'm down 24, and there's less than 2 quarters to play, and I have one
All
guy
right.
going. I got this locked up.
Yeah, you're looking good, and I
was a
love that
big
you
week
put
last
RT
week, right.
Sports in the picture feed at the bottom.
Yeah.
That's
what I was
that's a great touch. Yeah, that's a great touch.
What about you, Peewee? Anything exciting in your world? I do want you to know that we did get our 23rd country listening to us. It's Brazil. And you might be thinking, oh, I thought we already had Brazil. And you'd be right, except it was
remember those
producer
days.
Tony
The
playing a
heyday.
trick on me as Brazil.
No, just
So,
the same. Working around
what
the
you been up
house,
to,
getting
Peewee?
stuff done. I'm traveling the next week or so. The big thing is just my body is still aching from that wrestling show from a week and a half ago. My side is still in pain. My wrist is still hurting. I'm quickly realizing that there's a reason that guys, for the most part, aren't 40 years old and doing this. I don't know how guys. Yeah, especially getting back into it. Yeah, I
Getting
don't
back
know.
into it,
I took
yeah.
one splash in the
or if
corner
they
and I'm done
have,
for a
yeah.
week and a half.
Well, I'm doing good. Thank you guys for asking. I appreciate it. I watched Back to School, Rodney Dangerfield, this week. So that's a pretty solid thing. I also watched Hall Pass with Jason Sudeikis and Owen Wilson. Also Kelly Bundy. Yeah, solid. It's a pretty solid movie. Last night, I watched Kingpin. Kingpin. We've been talking about Woody Harrelson. And I said, I got to watch this Woody Harrelson movie because I don't think I've seen it. After watching it, I was like, I'm pretty sure I've seen this, but I didn't remember the ending of it. And then I fell asleep yesterday to the last 15 minutes of Universal Soldier Day of Reckoning, available on Pluto. Oh yeah, that's my weekly thing. I'm trying to,
such as Universal Soldier 6 or whatever.
Watch the hits. Yes, yeah.
And Kingpin, yeah.
And we do know.
So Kingpin didn't do it for you? It didn't grab you?
I do have Fast and Furious on VHS as well. If we need to get this party started, so.
What did you think of Kingpin?
Universal Soldier or Kingpin? What were we talking about?
I was asking about Kingpin. That one didn't grab you?
Solid movie. Yeah, I liked it. Okay. After watching it, I was like, I remember some of this stuff before. So I've definitely seen it before, but I could not tell you the ending to save my life. And probably right now I couldn't even tell you the ending. To tell you the truth, I'm not good at remembering stuff. Yeah. But it was a good movie. Woody Harrelson,
the man.
I think I've underrated a Woody Harrelson for a long time.
Yeah. Also, Bill Murray in that movie improvised 99% of his lines in that movie.
Wow.
And
He's
also,
incredible.
He showed up with that haircut. The director didn't know what he was going to be there. Yeah, he just showed up with that crazy haircut, which is just famous.
I do want to let you know one fact here about Universal Soldier Day of Reckoning, which features Dolph Lundgren and Jean-Claude Van Damme. This is from 2012, so within the past 9 years, they created this movie. $8 million budget to make this movie.
Fantastic.
1.4 million box office.
The one before this wasn't the Universal Soldier before this.
And I'm
the
thinking
most recent one was 2001.
I think so. There was a big discrepancy in the years or whatever, and then this was one where Dolph Lundgren and Jean-Claude Van Damme were on the screen together for the first time since the first Universal Soldier or something. But I did not see either of them in the last 15 minutes of the movie, so they were just in the credits. So I don't know what happened. I do want to ask you guys a question. This is kind of Chicago related, kind of movie related, kind of wrestling related. Did you hear who acquired the rights to Bozo the Clown?
Ooh, no.
Any guesses? I'll give you one guess each, and I will tell you this.
Oh, my guess was going to be Buff Bagwell.
He was in WCW. Incorrect. And producer Tony.
No, it's got.
You're also going to go with Buff.
Oh, is that right?
David Arquette.
Great.
He did it. He did it.
Really?
Yeah. David Arquette has acquired the rights to Bozo the Clown. He says he's been a longtime fan of Bozo. He is the first new owner in 65 years.
Bozo merch?
Wow.
He said, I fell in love with Bozo when I was a kid living in Evanston, Illinois. It lit up my heart, and I want to bring that kind of joy back to people in the world. He plans to open a museum in Chicago full of clown memorabilia, which sounds terrifying.
Oh, God, no.
Create new TV shows and films built around Bozo, and build a worldwide family of Bozos, which will go under our latest slogan of consistently bad, consistently, or whatever it is.
I got a Bozo story.
Well, that's where I wanted to head with this. I want to give you one last sentence that he said here. You have to kind of think of it as Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse.
This is way too much Bozo.
So,
no
I don't
one
know
needs
what that
this
means.
much Bozo. We need one. I'll settle for one Netflix documentary Bozo, and that's all we need. Then we're good. An hour and 10 minutes, and then we're good. Okay.
Hashtag what's up Bozos. So anyway, WCW champ, obviously wrestling, Illinois. He's from Illinois. Bozo the Clown, WGN, Chicago. My wife calls us all Bozos consistently behind our backs. Tell me your story. Tony, I know you have one now. So what's your Bozo story?
So I grew up in the city, north side, and kind of 5 minutes away from WGN Studios. And one day we were going to a baseball game, just like one of my T-ball games or something like that. And we're just driving in the car. I'm in the back seat. I'm probably 6, 7 years old. And I look to the car next to me,
Wizzo, hell yeah!
And
I've
in
either
full
heard
makeup
this or I was just gonna
is
guess
Wizzo the Clown driving
Wow.
with
Hashtag duty
gloves
duty
on.
do.
Yeah, gloves on, hat, full makeup, just like a normal
That's
dude
crazy.
driving to work, just in full Bozo the Clown.
Crazy to think
Wizzo
they don't have
makeup.
a makeup person on set.
And
that he just has to do it at home before work and then, like every morning. That's crazy.
right. Well, I don't know if it was that or like
that
maybe they
might
do
make
like
more sense.
appearances,
Okay.
like he was at like a Toys R Us or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But like it was just like I looked to the left and it's Wizzo the Clown just driving like a normal person, and I popped huge and like I'll never forget that.
So did you ever go to a live taping of Bozo, being so close?
No,
I watched
I
Bozo.
never did it.
Every
No.
What about you,
morning before
Peewee?
school.
Anything?
I was almost certain that Cookie the Clown was my Uncle Louie undercover because their hairstyles were very similar. Yeah, but no, I never attended the
Rest in
tape. Did you?
peace.
Do you have any history with Bozo?
No. I loved Cookie. I was a big Bozo the Clown fan. Me and my cousins used to set up buckets and like practice in case we ever made it like on the pro Bozo circuit. If anyone ever gives me $100 bill, I feel like I'm on the Bozo show, like to this day. But I've never, I never went to it. I want to say like, I don't know who it was. Somebody we know went to the Bozo show and played Bozo buckets. And I feel like a bunch of maybe Bishop did
I feel
or
like
something.
I've seen video of
That
something
sounds like a
we
Bishop
know.
story.
I don't
That sounds
know
like
who it
something
is,
he would do.
Somebody we know has done it, or a celebrity possibly. Is there a wrestler?
Ooh.
There was also a
Okay,
I don't know, probably Colt Cabana or something.
Dude, hell yeah.
I was a big Cookie fan as well. Huge Wizzo fan, by the way. Duty do. I still say consistently to people. And there's a German punk band named Wizzo who's actually pretty solid as well. If you want to, I would assume so, unless it's like a German word for like piss on you or whatever.
I love the storytelling that they would tell at the end of every episode. Where I forget what the goal was, but like Cookie would always try to do something. Did he want to like pull the curtain, or was there like a rope that he was supposed to pull on or something? And yeah,
I feel like
he was always
depressed,
at the end
so
that
the rope
Bozo
was probably
Cookie,
like
and I always wanted
a
to see
depression
Cookie,
rope.
Like, I wonder this about a lot of shows that I used to watch. Like, is there a final episode of Bozo where Cookie finally got like his just due, like where he finally was able to get this goal he's been trying to accomplish for 10 years? I need to look into these series finale of Bozo.
All right, I gotta add some Bozo to the Lex Express. Let's do some research here.
I don't understand why people would be upset if you get hit in the face with a pie either. Like that sounds awesome. Like especially.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean like seltzer
Bozo
or
never
pies.
took a pie.
Yeah,
that was
I remember
right?
the seltzer.
Bozo never got hit.
If you're like
that makes sense.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
It was in his contract. Yeah.
And then at the end of the show, like they would have the camera that shows the people just leaving and like waving goodbye. That was always pretty cool to see, like you know,
with the
with exit
the and whatever
of children or whatever. Yeah. Speaking of giant bozos, our dear friend Giuseppe in Italy emailed us. Just kidding, Giuseppe. We love you and we miss you. I have not reached out to you yet because I assume you're a very busy man.
Oh, wow.
And he did send us an email here, and it says, subject line, Capri's Pizza. It says, what's up, guys? Hope all is well. I was listening to some past episodes, and Sasha mentioned an episode of Insomniac with Dave Attell where he was in Chicago and training with Windy City Pro Wrestling, and there were banners for Capri's Pizza. Peewee mentioned that he was going to see Vic Capri at an upcoming show he was reffing at, which took place a couple weeks ago now. My question, did Peewee ask Vic Capri and solve the mystery? Take care, boys. Giuseppe no longer in Hollywood.
I didn't bring this up at all to Vic Capri. I mean, you guys know this. I can't remember anything we did 2 minutes ago. As soon as we finish this podcast, the entire hour that we talk is just wiped from my memory until. Yeah, right. Yeah,
Is that the show
I had
you
enough
worked
going on.
every
Right.
match too?
Oh
yeah. Yeah.
But it was
that
also the
true.
show
Yeah,
where
I mean,
Vic
I had
Capri
the
came up
opportunity.
and talked to you. So like,
Vic Capri says,
yeah.
"Hey, great work. Where else can I find you around here? I haven't seen you before. Don't worry about that, Vic. Give me some pizza
and you
info.
say,
What
"Are
do
you
what do you
from
know?"
Capri's Pizza?" Well, sadly, Giuseppe, no, we don't have the answer, but hopefully Peewee works another Vic Capri show soon and we can get some answers. Interesting nugget here. Bound for Glory Impact Wrestling happens this weekend. So we will have some updated,
Sure.
What are they called? Prediction results next week. But I don't know if you heard, Peewee, but the Inspiration, a.k.a. the Iconics, have signed with Impact and are wrestling for the tag
all of that
titles
is
in their
news to me.
First match.
I love that they're signed with somebody.
Yeah.
I hate that they're they're debuting in a title match.
And together too.
I mean,
I hate when people do that, and they do that consistently
Yeah, right.
now. Like Ruby Soho debuts and wins the thing to get a title shot, and at least she lost. But like, I mean, what about everybody else? I mean, I don't care. I'm happy to see that they're together and going to be gracing one of the television shows that I watch.
It's mainly WWE
so.
guys. When they jump to another promotion, they're skipping the lines consistently. The main event of Dynamite on Saturday, which I didn't even know was a thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Apparently Dynamite on Wednesday got preempted by hockey or baseball or both or something. So they had to move it to Saturday.
Probably playoff baseball.
And I just
if
see
you
that
might
it's
guess.
recording at like 8:40, so there's only like 20 minutes left. I tune in, and they say, okay, up next, after this commercial, your main event, Bryan Danielson will face Bobby Fish. Bobby Fish, who's been in the company, he debuted in the company the night before, and now he's main eventing a special night Saturday. You know what I mean? The jumping the line thing is... it's not good for the company. You need to, especially when it is just WWF guys. The more you do that, the more you're going to get compared to 2005 TNA. You can't do that as much as they're doing.
Do you think they're
hype them
promising
over?
that stuff
I don't
to
know.
those guys? Like, hey, you come sign with me. You're going to be a main event guy right off the bat.
But they're also that
I don't
stupid
think
that they're
so. I don't
marks
think
for
they're
all
that
these guys and do
stupid.
push
I
them to
think
the
what
moon
it
as soon as
is
they come.
like. Well, that's the thing. All their fans are marks. So they're like, oh my God, Bobby Fish, I love his knee strikes. Like, if they can get a new person to show up every week, they will put that person every week, like in the main event, because people just want to see them at least flip over to the, different company or whatever. Actually, crazy stuff happened this week because Friday, and by the way, they are preempted by hockey. TNT signed the NHL to a deal, and so now Wednesday nights are going to be hockey nights, which is why AEW is now moving to TBS. I think in the new year.
But for right now, is the Saturday thing consistent? Like, is a Wednesday hockey a
at least it was this week, and I believe it is also this upcoming week. But I don't know, like long term, how long it lasts, and how many hockey teams are there?
It's going to be like this all year, then. Jeez,
yeah,
no, the season
going
just
back-to-back
started.
Weeks
Like,
at the very beginning
got...
of the season. Oh wow.
Yeah, but there's only like 6 teams in hockey, right? So they get tired and then they don't play on Wednesdays. I think that's how it works.
Yeah.
But anyway, on Friday, Rampage, AEW's Friday show was live. SmackDown is live, but they don't overlap, right? SmackDown normally goes 7 to 9. Rampage goes 9 to 10. And because Rampage was live, and maybe, I don't know if they were debuting somebody or whatever, they always plug CM Punk. He's always the curtain jerker for those shows. SmackDown decided to extend half an hour longer this week.
For a half hour.
So they actually went head-to-head against AEW for a half an hour. And so that was big news. Tony Khan spent all of last week, like, bring it on, WWE. I don't care. I have more money than they do. You know, like he was bashing Ted Turner. He said Ted Turner made a mistake because whatever it was. He's like, I know more about wrestling than Ted Turner knew about wrestling. So like all this stuff to try and I think get his name out there so that people will tune into his show. Well, it worked. In that half hour, AEW, I mean, I'm going to put allegedly in quotation marks, but AEW beat WWE in the ratings. And here's the thing. They beat them by, in that half hour. And they beat them, which is the only time they went head-to-head. They beat them by 50,000 people. But it was in the demo, like the 18 to 49, which is considered the demo that everyone is trying to reach because that's where the money is. Overall, SmackDown had 300,000 more people. So to me, an old-fashioned analog man like myself, Mr. Analog Event.
Right, exactly. How is
like,
the 18 to 49 demo the important
there's
one?
More people
when
watching.
It is 1/6 of the actual demo.
Because they're the ones who spend the money
on extra stuff.
They're the ones who spend the money allegedly. Like I don't know if it's, they're the ones who have the income to buy tickets, to buy merch, to buy all the other stuff.
Not only did
disposable
they go head to head on cable television, like USA versus TNT from 9 to 9:30, but they also for the half hour prior to that, or maybe even the hour before that, Tony Khan announced a I don't know what they'd call it, like a pre-show on YouTube. Yeah, a buy-in. That's what the term
pre.
Is. So, and they gave Daniel Bryan versus Mantar Suzuki, which is an insane match.
Versus Minoru Suzuki,
gave that away
which is insane. It's the second time.
So I'm curious to know how. I don't even know how they judge the ratings on those. But the point is that these are like little rumblings that a war is brewing. Right? Like that we're getting some old school mentality. WWE says, okay, we're going to go over by a half hour because you're live. And AEW says, fine, go over a half hour. We'll beat you then. And I tell you what, we're going to go on YouTube at a half hour before that, and we'll go head to head then too. That I'm all for. I think the healthy competition is going to result in better entertainment on both sides. Hopefully, I'm talking to you, WWE. And the part that I'm not looking forward to, and I've already seen it, and you've already brought it up, is this constant discussion of ratings and who's winning, and even the way that the headlines are phrased, you can tell which company the author favors just based on the way that they've worded the article. It's I don't care who these guys are favoring. I don't care, and it's big guys too, like Alvarez and Meltzer and Wade. Wade's the other guy. Yeah, it's
Wade Keller. It's all the big guys. Yeah.
Do you think they'll ever like put a Monday show out there just to really go after them? Do you think that they'll get to that point?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, they have a YouTube show, but Tony's talking about a real show that humans can watch. Yeah. Here's the thing. Another little tidbit. Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar had a segment, and that segment tied with Ruby Soho versus the Bunny. So a lot of people are putting like the Bunny owns Roman Reigns stuff on Twitter, which is good stuff.
I'd rather look at her. That's for sure.
So Tony Khan basically has come out and he's been tweeting today about how great it was, and he's so excited and so happy that they won and blah blah blah. Well, then Eric Bischoff came out with a video, I believe from his podcast, and basically told Tony Khan that he's like doing shitty things. Like, I guess Tony Khan compared himself to like 1996 WCW, where they're like, here's the big new thing. And he said they're just not going to make the mistakes that WCW made. And Bischoff's like, just do your thing. Quit worrying about who you're comparing stuff to and blah, blah, blah. By the way, and he also used the word cosplay in his like description of this stuff. But he was like, you're not beating them in the ratings. You're beating them in cosplay or something like that. And he goes, I actually beat them in the ratings. I went head to head and defeated them overall in the ratings, which may be an old man talking. Like, I don't really know like what the 18 to 49 versus complete ratings. I don't know what is more important. I guess it depends on like what you're what you're talking about. Like if I think overall victory, I'm thinking we have more people than you. Overall victory. But if it's money that's up for grabs, maybe it is better that AEW has this 18-49, whatever it is. But Bischoff is like, just do your thing, shut up, like face forward, and then if you want to, go head to head and see how you do in the same time spot, trying to get the same sponsors. That's
honestly,
real
if
head
there's
to
a
head,
guy
not
you're gonna listen
half
to,
an hour,
it should
one
be
time.
Eric Bischoff. He's the guy who beat WWE, and yes, he did ultimately get defeated by them, but he's also had 20 years. He's had
then
20
he also
years to
lost.
think about the mistakes
But nobody
and figure
else
out
did
where
what he
went
did.
wrong. And
Yeah.
now, looking back on it, if you're going to listen to somebody, Eric Bischoff has. If you can't get help from Vince McMahon and his team, the next best place as far as how to succeed and what mistakes you can make and what mistakes you shouldn't make, the Eric Bischoff, I think, is a great source. So ignoring that video would be a stupid move on Tony Khan's part.
I wanted to ask you guys, I have a list here of 5 guys, and I want to see, not the burger place, and I wanted to see your guys' order of most likely to least like appear on AEW. I guess it's more for Peewee than Tony. But,
Yeah, I'll try to follow along. Go ahead.
But yeah, so like, just, we have in our head a list of guys who probably would never show up to AEW because of their loyalty to Vince or whatever. But then you think
money. Yeah,
loyalty,
Big
schmoyalty,
Show would have been on that.
For the right price, they got Bret Hart out there. Yeah, Bret Hart, they whatever, they tricked him into falling off the stage. That's how much money they gave him. So like, all right, so The Rock, what do you think of the?
I do.
You think The Rock would ever show up on AEW?
You'd have to throw a ton of money at him, but if the money's there, I think he would. I think, based on the very little that I know about The Rock, I think his loyalty could be bought.
And what next up? More likely or less likely than The Rock?
He wants
Stone
to
Cold.
stay relevant and just stay with like the current product. I mean, he was at the top in 1998.
Man.
So you're saying like him and The Rock would both potentially?
I would say Stone Cold more likely than The Rock ever to do it. That's just my personal opinion. Vince has let him go do his movie stuff and come back anytime he wanted. And I think The Rock would respect that and not.
Who benefits
Where do you think?
Or who benefits less by burning that bridge with Vince? Let's say that they know Vince is going to hold a grudge. I don't think The Rock needs the bridge back to WWE. I think at this point WWE needs The Rock way more than the Rock needs WWE. Stone Cold, on the other hand, I think he benefits a lot more by being associated with WWE than, you know what I mean? If he's going to get back into wrestling, if he's going to go back to, quote-unquote, the big time, he wants to keep that door open with WWE because he needs that. The Rock obviously does not. He has the Fast and Furious.
Sure. Yeah, like Stone Cold also like works for
You
them,
had
right?
me up until the last sentence. What about John Cena? Where do you put John Cena in this list? Like, if John Cena shows up to AEW, that's crazy, right?
I'd
the
agree
least
with that.
likely.
I think,
the least likely of the
little
three.
I know, I think
believe.
he's a company guy. I think he's...
And then here's an interesting one. This guy is retired, but has spent his entire career WWE. The Undertaker.
There were rumors that he was going to do, or not even rumors, I think it was confirmed, he was going to do like All Out for an autograph signing or something, right? Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, he was booked for StarCast. I think the one that I went to,
and then they pulled for
Vegas. And then eventually he got pulled.
Based on that, I would think that, he'd be open to it. Again, money's
but now,
money.
But now that he's like retired, is it like, is it weird?
I'd say he's the most likely of the four that you've listed.
I think
to show up.
I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Undertaker, Stone Cold, who was the other guy? And Cena, if it was on the table and he was considering it, I think those three at least give Vince a call and get his thoughts on it beforehand. Like, hey, what do you think about this? Rock, I don't think he does.
Sure.
I'm curious as to who your fifth guy is. Sheamus.
Oh, fifth guy.
Okay, yeah.
Triple
Shawn Michaels.
H.
Oh.
What if Triple H shows up and his wife is on the other channel doing a draft or whatever they do with WWE? That wasn't. I threw that one in just because obviously that's not going to happen.
He's the most
Unless
likely
they,
to show up in AEW because Vince will eventually just buy them.
Yeah, or like if they take NXT away from him again or whatever.
Right, yeah. He's
like, I'm out of here.
Yeah, he's pissed about NXT, and he's like, fuck you, Vince. I'm going to go on the other show.
Some other names that I came up with were like Booker T, who's a surprising name because he's been bashing AEW since day one and like consistently been a company man for WWE.
The whole time, it's fine. If he ever got released, yeah, go ahead.
Shawn Michaels, too. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Shawn Michaels, I'm gonna do it again. Shawn Michaels is someone who like. I mean, I don't see it happening because he's been with WWE nonstop forever. It just would be weird for him to go over there. But at the same time, it's like, what's stopping him? You know, like if Vince fires them, they're firing everybody and anybody. It doesn't even matter anymore. So it's like any of these guys would go over immediately for the right payday and if they're fired. But Jerry Lawler was actually my last guy just to see. He'd go for a ham sandwich and $50, I think, if they were close enough to Memphis. But it would be. Would you have any interest in seeing Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler do a little bit of commentary, like at some point? You know, like they go to Memphis, AEW goes to Memphis and reunites them, and he's allowed to say puppies, and they're allowed to say whatever they want to, like instead of having Vince yelling at in their ear. I thought it'd be interesting.
There'd be a lot of pushback from the general social media.
Yeah. The one name for me, actually for me, there's a lot of names, but I think this name would be bigger than CM Punk to bring on. What do you think about this? This is a guy who used to be around. He hasn't been around for a while. He was actually canceled, I believe.
Ooh.
I mean, do you know who I'm going to say here, Peewee?
Yeah, that's the only guy I could think of, but go ahead.
Ric Flair?
No, Ric Flair will be at doing a Trump fundraiser this week, I believe. He's just grab him, Rick, grab him. Joey Styles. What do you think if they got rid of everybody
8 people
on their goddamn horrible announcing team and just brought in Joey Styles to be with Taz? Way bigger
Joey
than
working?
CM.
I think that's
Is Joey doing anything?
He was doing like an indie show.
No, Joey was canceled.
And
yeah,
really?
He worked for 3 indie companies after WWE let him go in 12, 14, 16. You name the year or whatever. But he started doing some like indie shows.
Okay.
And then he actually made a Donald Trump reference towards a woman. And you can probably figure out the reference, and just a quick Googs of Donald Trump will get you there. And he got canceled because this was at the time where like you could just look at people wrong and get canceled. And so he was like, "Screw wrestling, I'm out of here." He was working for a pharmaceutical company. I believe Conrad Thompson was trying to get him to an ECW podcast with him to like bring him back, which would have been incredible. He's like Rick Martel. He does not want anything to do, allegedly, with the wrestling business. I would love it because they don't have a good announcer. I mean, Taz is a good announcer. Look at me backtracking and saying Taz is a good announcer. It's just so stupid that they have him half the time coming out with wrestlers, and then half the time he's like, "Oh, what a great plancha," and you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I love him and Joey Styles together with the limited stuff that I watched them do in the WWE ECW. So I just think Joey Styles would be a great name for AEW and way better than Excalibur and Jim Ross and Mark Henry and Chris Jericho and The Big Show and who else? Like, just keep going. All right, let's talk merch, fellas. I've been big into bootleg merch lately and old merch and all kinds of stuff.
Have you bought anything?
I found some interesting stuff this week. GCW No. I haven't had time to like do anything. I found out GCW was doing a merch sale, and I was able to pop in because I had just seen like their Instagram post, and I was like 15 minutes after they had started. So I'm like, let me get on here. I click on there. I've already tried getting a poster. I didn't want to wait in the stupid way that they sell their merch. It's so dumb. These claim sales and Facebook groups. Just put everything on a goddamn website like it's 1997. Let me give you my cash, Brett Lauderdale. Come on. Anyway, so I click onto this sale to see what's going on, and they're selling Nick Gage cards, autographed cards. And the best part about it is Nick Gage is sitting there at a table, and while people are claiming these things, he's just signing the cards right there. It's kind of cool. I liked it. And then Brett Lauderdale's like, hey, Mikey in New Hampshire says hello, Nick. And Nick's like, hey, Mikey's a good guy. He's a good guy. It was a lot of that. It was awesome. Nick Gage is the man.
I'm sure Nick Gage has perfect penmanship. Like,
oh, yes.
Excellent crafted signatures on each one of those cards. What a great guy.
Somebody asked if he would use a pizza cutter, Brett Lauderdale, or just anybody in the room. Brett Lauderdale is the owner of GCW, by the way.
Okay.
And the guy who's running the sale live while it happens. And Nick Gage was just like, I only do that in the ring. He was like very respectful and low key.
I've never seen an Instagram claim sale. How do they do that? But they're still claiming stuff live.
Facebook.
Like
this was on Facebook. Yeah.
That's not. That would.
Oh,
that would
yeah.
piss me off.
So what happens is, you don't get to see what is for sale, right? And then he goes, "How about a Nick Gage card?" And he holds up a Nick Gage card, and then 12 people. No, this is actually my guy Kyle at Be Kind Rewind 515. It is a VHS tape business card. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a brilliant card. So anyway, he holds it up. 15 people write him Nick Gage card, and then this guy reads off, Dick Foreskin gets a card. Anal Foreskin, I guess Dick's brother, gets a card.
If you
Marie
have a bad
Antoinette
if he
gets
only has
a card.
5 cards
and he just goes down the list, and there's
it's just the first 5 that appear on his stream. That's not necessarily the first 5 that commented. It's just based on his stream on what came through. It's so frustrating.
Correct. And that's exactly what happened when I got that poster that one time. Like, I was like clicking on the thing, and I got in just in the nick of time for him to see my name or whatever. But the thing that brought me to this was the Nick Gage custom MDK pizza cutters.
Smart.
This is a fantastic opportunity.
What a marketing maneuver there,
Dude,
right?
I love the stuff that GCW does, man. They're just like on top of things and smart with how they handle stuff. There were 254 people in there, by the way, at this claim sale. Yeah. So it's insane.
I'm surprised that many GCW fans actually have credit cards.
That's true. I mean, steal their moms, potentially. They're doing a show at Hammerstein Ballroom, which is crazy. ECW ran there towards the end. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. They're coming up.
For sure. Then we have the Major Wrestling Figure podcast, Peewee. This one.
Yeah, they've done this before.
They released Buddies. How about that? Yeah. You want to explain who these people are? Because this was my guess as to who these people were. If you're not watching on YouTube, I put a picture of, it's the dad from Family Ties. I don't know why they would have a buddy of him. Right? That's Michael Gross, a.k.a. Stephen Keaton.
Yep.
Then they have a miniature version of Seth Rollins. I'm not quite sure why they would do that. The WWE is going to reach out immediately. I think the top left was actually also Michael Gross, just a younger Michael Gross. And then the top right, it's a little bit of a stretch, but it looks a little Al Borland-y to me.
Yeah, if you get some flannel on him, I think it's a win right there.
I'll send that out on the Instagram. What do you think about these things, Peewee?
He's totally shredded underneath
No,
that
no,
flannel,
no. I
dude.
got out of the.
Did you order any of these?
Figure Podcast merch game a while ago. I mean, they sell fairly decently. The secondary market on the stuff is decent. It's not something I would collect. I have the only piece I have. It's to my left, right next to DDP. There is a little micro brawler of Mark, the red Michael Gross. He sent me one. He just sent me one when he had it made. He sent me an autographed one. But other than that, I don't have anything.
Oh, that's awesome. Tony, do you know who the bottom right is supposed to be? That's my point. That's my point.
No.
Here.
No, I don't, actually.
That's supposed to be Hornswoggle.
Like, what do you want him to do? He's got tattoos. His shirt says Swoggle. He's got... I wish I could pull up a picture of what Swoggle looks like right now. Yeah, he's got a beard. He's got long hair. Sure.
He looks like Seth Rollins, is what
he looks like a miniature Seth Rollins. Okay.
I'm sorry.
I mean, good for Swoggle. I mean,
I do love having the buddies, though. I do think
you got to get Connor a Swoggle.
He has one.
Come on, you got to get Connor a Swoggle.
He's giving Connor more and more stuff. When we did the shows 3 weeks ago for Swoggle, he gave Connor an 8x10. He gave Connor a T-shirt. He was just throwing stuff at Connor the entire night. Yeah, it was very nice. That's why I can't put him down here. He's a great guy.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I'm not putting him down. I'm just saying that to me doesn't look like a Swoggle.
It's probably not easy to make one's
give me a couple
Michael Gross, I guess. It's probably not easy to put one's likeness on a pillow.
Can you honestly look at that Michael Gross buddy in the face and tell me that it's not Michael Gross? Like that they used a picture of Michael Gross.
I understand the nostalgia of the buddies.
When they sent it
Tony,
in.
did you have buddies when
as
you were
a joke on Mark
like
Sterling?
the Hogan the Warrior and all that?
Yeah, I had the Hogan and the Warrior buddy. Yes, I did.
For him, but obviously it's difficult to put someone's likeness on a pillow that's basically 2D. It's not even 3D. The one thing that I do love about these there's a lot of buddies out there, right? There's a ton of other guys doing buddies. This is the only group. The Major Wrestling Figure Podcast group is the only ones that have 3D noses. Everybody, which likes the old school ones, right? The old school ones had a nose. Everybody else just has like a printed line for the nose or whatever it is, but it's always 2D. These are the only 3D ones, and I know it's a stupid thing to like, but as a guy who likes nostalgia, it does stand out to me.
Okay. I'm with you. That's all I wanted was for you to defend them slightly. I think that's a good touch. That is a nice touch on those things. And they don't look as bad. They don't even look as bad as I'm saying. I just kind of, especially the bottom left one, I was like, what? No, I don't see it. I do see it in the top two,
I do think that
Myers
the 3D
and
noses,
Cardona.
as cool
those
as
look
it
pretty
is
good.
To have that feature,
anyway.
I think that hurts the likeliness more so than anything else, because there's no detail on it, and it just kind of like it's just a blob in the middle of the face.
Yeah. Well, let's see these compared to the Ring of Honor buddies. They have their own buddies that went up for sale. I don't know if it was this week, but I saw them this week. You got your boy Danhausen all the way on the right. You got a Dalton.
Those looks like some carnival ass dollar store buddies compared to the.
I don't know how much you want me to bury these. I hate these.
I think the faces.
Yeah, I
think the faces look more detailed
the Hogan,
in these than the other ones.
No, you sent me these pictures. I have no idea what we're going to talk about. You just sent me pictures of buddies. Had I known, I would have pulled up pictures of Hogan and Warrior and shown you. Like, I don't need a super detailed picture of Dalton Castle or whoever these other three guys are. I know who Danhausen is. The Danhausen one looks like just a photo.
I do. I need 3 of those.
Here, make this. Just print this on a pillow, and I'm good. Like, that's not.
Why don't they have necks? They have no necks.
I'd love to know.
How are you going to put a sleeper hold on one of these things?
These look a lot.
They got no necks.
It's hard to tell the scale, but these look smaller than the original ones. I don't like them. I don't like these. Can I put?
I'm ordering you a Dalton Castle one, and I'm gonna autograph it for you.
Do you know who else has buddies?
I'm gonna autograph it for you.
I got these. UFC has buddies. To me, these are the best of any of the ones we've seen. The arms are good. They're so much better than the Ring of Honor ones. Than look at that compared to these.
Yeah.
These are the ring.
Oh,
the UFC
for
ones
sure,
are much
for
better.
sure.
No nose, which I don't love, but the it's very cartoony. It's very like, yeah. To me I like these the most out of any ones that are done.
To me, all UFC people
I don't.
look
Yeah, I
the
don't know who
same.
any of these
And
people are. Other than
am I
Conor
allowed to
McGregor.
say that? Like, yeah, they
I'd
all have.
love
That's
to punch
right.
Conor McGregor.
You and
so
the
that,
dogs
that's
versus Conor McGregor.
This is good
Let's go.
stuff.
Book that.
Some other stuff that I found this week. This Wrestling for Sale on Instagram, Wrestling the number 4 sale, always has crazy like old stuff. They had a 1992 WWE Crew shirt, which was just like a truck
I love this.
that had like Bobby Heenan on it. There's like a casket on there. It looks like a parade float kind of. And look at that, size large, $325 or best offer, with Macho Man Mean Gene on there. It's just a cool looking Crew shirt, like not just the word crew, but like an actual picture to go along with it. I thought that was pretty
you could
cool.
only get this, I'm assuming, if you were WWF Crew, so it's super limited. And on top of that, it's a very, very cool design.
Yeah.
With all the different the different props in the back of the truck. I think that's it's a truck towing a ring, and the ring is filled with like caskets and monitors, and also like it's very cool. I love this.
Yeah.
That is awesome. That is an awesome design.
And then they also were selling a 1991 WCW Decorative Pillow. This thing had it's supposed to be Lex Luger and Ric Flair. I just thought it was a pretty sweet looking pillow. Like, it doesn't look
I was gonna say, did somebody make
centered
this on
correctly.
Etsy?
It looks pretty beaten up. But,
where did they sell this? Who was carrying it? Was Target
yeah, and it
carrying
looks
this
way
back in the day?
I don't think Target was around. I don't know. What?
Maybe Venture. I don't think Target was a store.
This was a Zare exclusive, I believe.
Woolworths.
$25. Then there's some like crazy ECW bootleg stuff. There's this ECW Tales of the Extreme. This company, the Extreme Collector, he's got an insane collection of ECW stuff, and then like they make these bootleg shirts. This was based off of WrestlePalooza 1997.
So this is a new shirt?
Just cool
this
artwork. It kind of looks like. Is it
still cool?
Yeah. Yep. I think it's a pre-order
I
actually.
can't see that shirt.
It's yeah, it's kind of like Tales from the Crypt, I believe, like ripoff. Or maybe not ripoff the right word. What's the word I'm looking for? Like, dedication or whatever. And then this other company, Wrestle Buds, BUDZ, which is like a weed/wrestling company. I bought some stickers from them. It's got like RVD doing this, the RVD thing, like while holding a joint. I think there's like, I don't know what else they have, but it's all like weed related or whatever. But they have these pre-orders for this Dusty Rhodes, Steve Corino, Living Dangerously merch. It actually looks pretty decent. That shirt is pretty cool. A white shirt with the, doing the bull rope gimmick stuff. The poster at the bottom left looks cool. Cool sticker. I just love that people are making ECW bootleg merch in 2021.
How do they not get sued by who?
I don't know.
Understand how they get away with it.
I don't know how they do this stuff.
Peewee knows a little something about that.
It probably just have the same mindset I do. Just do it until you get in trouble.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you get.
By the way, I watched a little bit of Legends Fest 2002 USA Championship Wrestling. Burt Prentice, and they said that was Dusty Rhodes' first time wrestling in the Nashville Fairgrounds too.
The same night in Nashville.
Me and Dusty made our debuts in the same legendary place in Nashville. So, yeah. I didn't get to watch the main yet. You were in it, Peewee. Okay. You reffed a match between people I've never heard of in my life, and I hope to never hear from them again. But it was pretty cool to see. Whatever. What else do I got here? Okay, I've been trying to talk about this for 3 weeks now. I got these wrestling review magazines. I was at this like antique store, And they had a basket full of these, like 20 of them. And the guy wanted $10 a piece for them. He would not do any sort of offer at all. Like for all of them, for 2 of them, for nothing. So I only bought 2 of them because Terry Funk is on one of them, and the other one is Fritz von Erich. They just looked really, really cool. There's a lot of like, old stuff in there. There's a picture of Kevin Sullivan as like a rookie. They're like, Kevin Sullivan will be training with whoever, Dean Malenko or whatever it is.
Oh my God, that's Kevin Sullivan?
Yeah, that's Kevin Sullivan. It's crazy, right? This is pre-goth Kevin Sullivan or whatever you want to call
worshiper. Yeah.
There was also a ad in there for like Arnold Schwarzenegger's like I don't even know what it was, but he was like holding a woman. But these magazines are from like 1972, so it's like pre, Hollywood Schwarzenegger. This is like Mr. Universe Schwarzenegger stuff, so it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And then my favorite ad that I saw, the Dim Mak ad. Look at this, from Bloodsport, Death Touch. Look at this. You could get free, I think it's instructions on how to do the Dim Mak. So I sent that in. Yeah, I sent that in immediately. Like, and then I'm framing the rest of it. But I'll let you guys know when it comes in what happened.
That guy's going to, like, respond because he still thinks that, like, Bloodsport really happened. You know that, right?
What are you talking about? Of course it happened.
Sasha's the guy that's running this thing.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, last thing that I wanted to bring up, I didn't get a chance to ask you guys if you saw this or not, but at the Luna Vachon Dark Side of the Ring, you guys happen to catch this or no?
That's about where I'm at.
Ooh.
No, I mean, you guys talked about it at length last week.
Any thoughts on that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it with Steph, who had
Did
to
you
watch,
enjoy it?
Most of it through her fingers as she covered her eyes. It was, I mean, I learned a lot more than I thought that I knew. I just wasn't aware that Onita was so heavily involved / owned FMW. I was very naive to all of that information. Yeah, but I mean,
interesting. Tony, did you catch the Luna Vachon?
I did, yeah. I didn't really care for it much. Gangrel, like, I didn't know that was Gangrel until it said Gangrel at the bottom. he was wearing a Gangrel t-shirt and it still didn't click for me. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, he looks nothing like he used to back in the day to me. I don't know. Yeah, I just like the kid that was on the show seemed like he's got his head on straight, and I'm just happy for that. And
what didn't you like? It was just that it was sad, or you didn't like the story of her, or like what was it that you specifically weren't a fan of?
I don't know. There's just, I mean, she was crazy and had some mental issues, and that was basically the whole episode. Like there wasn't many like things I didn't know. I don't know. It didn't hold a candle to all the other episodes that have aired this season specifically. Yeah, like you got guys like blowing up police stations and shit like that. I mean,
I enjoyed this one. I enjoy all of these. I think they're all good. But this was like the saddest one for me to watch. It just felt like it was just a sad story. Like I thought it was awesome that her name is Gertrude in real life. Did not know that. That's hilarious. They talked about her partying with Sherry Martel, and I was like, that's like that would be the greatest thing of all time, I believe. I don't think there are two other people I would rather party with than Sherry Martel and Luna Vachon in any profession. I think that would be insane. They were showing they're like Luna Vachon was doing like 100 pills a day. We know Sherry was doing all kinds of stuff.
Didn't she give you one, Peewee, one time? Allegedly,
I asked her for Advil. She said, "Sure, I have one of these for a headache. Take it." That's fine. I didn't have a headache after that. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
I was going to say, in her defense, she doesn't have a headache anymore either. But
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Interesting enough. Oh, but her promos were crazy. Crazy good. Like from day one, it seemed. I also didn't know that she started like her career. I don't know, Peewee, if you don't want to hear this, put on earmuffs over your headphones. But she started her career with Kevin Sullivan. Like Kevin Sullivan punching her. She was like just being a reporter or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And then she was possessed by the punch of Kevin Sullivan or whatever. I thought that was such a cool like way to enter the business or whatever, and I never saw that before. And you're right about the kid. So I'm watching the show, and they show Luna Vachon's kid, and I go, I know this guy. How do I know this guy? Have I seen him at Avalanche Pub in Glendale Heights, Illinois? Like, who is he? He kind of has a John Cena-ish quality to him. He's got like a
yes, you would know
the hair.
I didn't connect those dots.
Yeah, and I was like, how do I know this guy? And so I Googled him, and he was on, I believe it was MasterChef or one of those Gordon Hell's Kitchen. Yeah.
Oh, like really? I didn't
early,
know that. Okay.
early season,
yeah,
like season 5 or 6 or whatever. When I used to watch consistently.
Right.
I did. I used to, not anymore, but that era I definitely did watch, and so I was like, oh my god, Luna Vachon's son was on Hell's Kitchen, and I don't remember if I liked him or not back in the day when I was watching that live, but it was just like, what a small world this is. And then I read about another person who was on the next season of Hell's Kitchen who took their own life. So,
God damn it.
And that's a great way to end this show. It's a sad show, guys. We started with low energy, and now we're just going to end with even lower energy as we talk about the deaths of many people. Next week, Peewee, have you seen this? I got 2 of them for you. We're going to bring that back. And potentially a story about New Jack that I don't know if you guys have ever heard or not. So, yeah, a little teaser there. What's making me bitter this week is Roman Reigns. I currently like Roman Reigns, and that bothers me. Roman Reigns came out this week. He was interviewed, and I don't know if it's like a shoot or, just him being in character or whatever it is. But they asked him about CM Punk, and I'm going to paraphrase here, but he basically said, I haven't seen a whole match of his since he's been back, but I've seen a clip or 2, and to me, he's lost a step or 2. Then also, he got his ass whooped in the UFC. I don't think anybody really believes that someone 200 pounds soaking wet with no explosive bone in their body could ever really do anything to me. And so it's making me bitter that I love Roman Reigns now, and I'm going to spend money on his merch. Producer Tony, what's making you bitter this week?
All the audio issues, like I said, I've been dealing with, not only this podcast, but also the Scoop and Poop podcast. It's hard being producer Tony and sounding like a robot. I hopefully have fixed it. I guess we'll find out. So I apologize. And, hopefully my skills are better going forward.
We talked about it earlier.
Peewee, what's making you bitter this week?
AEW is doing things to mess with WWE. WWE is doing things to mess with AEW. The war is seemingly back on, and that's, like we said, hopefully going to result in
seemingly
better competition and better content. I don't have time for this. I don't have time to get back into wrestling. I cannot watch. Right. Absolutely.
You don't want wrestling to be good.
We cannot do that. This podcast, as it is, taking up 1 hour of my time right now, is enough for the entire week. I cannot devote many hours to AEW, many more hours to WWE if the content gets good enough to watch. I am praying that everybody messes this up somehow.
New episodes of this podcast drop every Friday morning in audio form at bittermarks.com or Monday nights in video form on YouTube. Join us while we record in the YouTube chat Monday nights live at 9:05. That's p.m. and that's Central Standard Time. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at bittermarks. Email us bittermarks@gmail.com. And last but not least, buy our shirts, Pro Wrestling Tees /bittermarks.com. That's COM as in Monday Night Wars are coming back, Peewee. Peewee, producer Tony. And
I may
Bishop.
not be here next week. Tune in next
See
week
you next
to find
week.
out.